Are you thinking of moving to Boise in 2021? Well, I got 5 tips for buying a home in this market as we look into the new year. But before I start, let me say that I am filming this video in one take. I'm not stopping for cutting or editing. So this is Benj Foreman from Triple Cord Real Estate Unplugged. So tip number 1, be prepared for competition. Now, I work with a lot of buyers, and one of the frustrating things for me as a real estate agent in this market is seeing my clients get really excited about a house. We put in a really strong offer that we think is going to get accepted, and then it doesn't get accepted. When that happens several times, it can be discouraging. So just know that the first house that you fall in love with might not be the one that you end up with. And not only is the competition fierce, but the supply is also really low. Last month, the number of available homes was down 75% when compared to November of 2019. So the demand went up by 18%, but the supply went down 75%. So think of what that does for the competition. So what I tell my clients is, don't even start looking at a house that is listed at the top of your budget. Start low so that when you see a house that you are interested in, you can put in a really strong offer. You also might have to waive the inspection contingency. You might also have to waive the appraisal contingency. So the competition is very fierce. I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. I think in 2021 we're going to continue to see house prices rise, probably at the same rate that we saw in 2020. So just be ready for very fierce competition. Tip number 2, keep up on the market. And I think the best way to do that is by signing up on our website for a free MLS account. And what that does, I'll put the link down in the description box below. But what you do is you throw in your number, your email address, your phone number. Literally takes 30 seconds to sign up, but it gives you complete access to the multi-listing service so that then you see all of the properties that are for sale in southwestern Idaho. So that's from Twin Falls all the way over to the border with Oregon. It includes the entire Treasure Valley and everything south of us. You can search all of the properties. You can see how much homes are in the different neighborhoods of the different cities. It's the best way to keep up with the market. For example, you're not going to find anything less than $300,000 in the Treasure Valley. The median price for all of the homes in Ada County last month was $425,000. So that means half of the homes sold for less than that, half of the homes sold for more than that. So you need to be keeping up with the market so that when you do finally get to a position where you are going to actively be buying a house, you know what you can afford in the different neighborhoods that you are interested in. So again, I'll put a link down in the description box below. Just click on that link and you can get free access to all of the MLS, and you can be keeping up with what is happening in the Boise housing market. Tip number 3, be ready and act quickly. And what I mean by that is have your financing all in order before you even start looking for homes. If you're going to be taking a mortgage, have your pre-approval in hand before you start looking at homes. Nobody's going to accept an offer from somebody who hasn't been pre-approved yet. And if you are selling your house, be sure that you sell your house beforehand, even before you start looking for a home, because also sellers are not going to take a contingent offer, an offer that's contingent upon you selling your house. There's too much risk involved in that, and there's too much competition. The seller can simply just choose another offer that doesn't have that contingency. So be sure all of your financing is in order, but also be ready to act quickly. And what I mean by this is when you finally get to the point where you are actively looking for homes, clear some time away from your schedule so that that can be the primary thing that you are engaging in for several months. It's not unusual for me to go look at a home with a client in the morning and put an offer on that same house several hours later. Now, in order to do that, you need to have the time and the energy to go look at the homes, and you need to act quickly, because if you wait a few days, there's a good chance that the home will already be sold. So be ready and act quickly. Tip number 4, get a good agent. It's a bit self-serving. I know I'm a real estate agent, and of course I'd love for you to work with me, but don't just call up the seller's agent, the listing agent, and say, hey, I'm interested in buying the house that you've listed. That agent is working in the best interest of the seller. So guess who's going to get the short end of the stick on that transaction? You, the buyer. Finally, number 5, don't wait. If you know that you need to buy a house for one reason or another in 2021, do it as quickly as possible. It might take a few months, I realize, to kind of get to that point. But once you are at that point, the longer you wait, the more you are going to lose out. I was talking to some people back in February of this year, and they were thinking about buying a house, and for various reasons they ended up delaying the buying of a home, and they didn't buy a house until October. And guess what? They paid $30,000 more in October than they would have in February. That's because the housing market continued to rise throughout the year. So the longer you wait, the less buying power you are going to have. So once you reach that point, try and buy a house as quickly as possible. It's only going to benefit you. So there you have it. Those are my tips for buying a home in 2021. If you need an agent, I'd love to chat with you. Send me a text, shoot me an email, give me a call. I'd love to see how I might be able to help you. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good Christmas, and let's hope 2021 is a little bit better than 2020.